Greetings, Minecrafters! Nonsanity here, and welcome to episode 7? I think it's 7, of All the Mods 3 Remix. Lots of stuff today to do, because I want to make one thing that requires a lot of other things. Go figure. Let's get started. So, out here I can see 3 chests from out here, and there's at least 2 more hidden away. Lots of little things to do. Let's see how long it takes to figure out... Oh, wow, look at some eggs here. What it is I want to do. First thing, I need these bits. We're going to dig 2 holes here and stick a power cell... Actually, no. Put the power cell here. Put a animal sewer there. This will, with power, and the animals around it will slowly get sewage. There, it's got 15 millibuckets. Set that up because it's going to take it a little while. And it's going to go into a sewage composter, which also takes power. And it will need to be fed the sewage, so we will extract. There we go. And the range on this thing is very, very small, so the cow would basically have to walk over it. But if we toss this into it, it gets, well, more than the whole pen. So that should work much faster now. Look at that going here. Now if we look in here, look. Oh yeah, it's over almost 2 buckets of liquid crap. And that gets us fertilizer. And lots of it. So let's turn off this preview. Yep, I started with the poop. But it's going to be important, because what I want to make, now that we have the first lovely, odoriferous ingredient, is fertilizer. We're going to make growth essence, which can be used, among other things, to make... enter hive. You can actually make a hive. So you can make hives. That's sort of cool. Okay, yeah. To make the Tier 5 crafting seeds, you need 2 of these growth essence. And with that, you can make diamonds, emeralds, and wither skeleton seeds. That's the important one. Steel is nice, but I can make steel pretty easily. Electrum, constantan, tungsten, titanium, uranium, chrome, platinum. Chrome would be nice. I'll remember, make only 4 chrome. Then I can make the seeds, because chrome, as I recall, is a long and involved process. Anyway, getting sidetracked. We got the flux phytogrow, that's no problem. We need royal jelly, that comes from bees. We're going to do some bees real quick. And we need some mana powder, which is Botania, and I should get the Botania started right away, because that's another one that's going to have to build up. So... apothecary. I can never build an apothecary without automating it, so let's do that. You fill the apothecary by whacking it with a bucket. Is that facing the right direction? No. Gotta place it like that. And place this one like that. And I forgot to get a bucket or 2. Just 1's enough. Turn this off. Over here, we're going to extract all the time. Gotta put a filter in first. Empty buckets. I'll put some speed downgrades in there. Don't know quite how many I need. Over here, we're going to always extract with a filter. Blacklist, empty bucket. I could fill it up and make it a whitelist bucket, but this is easier since that's what I got. This one's going to be in search as well, and this one's going to be in search as well, and I can put the 3 downgrades in there too. Alright, so we toss a bucket in here and set it to use... Oh, it needs power. Forgot about that. Do I have an extra power cell? I do not. This is one setup I did not set up in advance, as I usually do. I've done this before. I usually use the extra utilities. There we go. I do like flight. Alright, so we'll put a power. Oh, we need to actually pipe the power to the blocks. There it goes. Boy, that's a lot of splashes. Oh, tick delay. 20. Can't see it. Arrow keys. Maybe hover over it. There we go, arrow keys. So it's right-clicking it, which makes it splash. That's fine. The bucket got filled and taken out. It was placed over here. Oh, and it filled that up. Sent it back. Got it filled again. Sent it back to be ready. So if I were to just break this up and place it back, and that knocked down all my torches. And one more right here. But yeah, it's filled. Alright, so good. We can now make some petals, get some seeds, go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look how fast that fills back up again. That's lovely. Alright, we got 2 pure daisies. Let's see, how do I want to set this up? Let's do something a little bit different. Get some dirt. Get some... Those are planks. Let's go downstairs and get some wood. No, that's apples. Let's play around with the black hole chest here. There we go. So that. We need some stone, but I think I got plenty of that in here. Oops. Don't need the cobbled. Or the redstone. That's more than enough. Don't have to go up the stairs, go out the door here. Alright, so what I'm going to do is make 2 pillars of dirt, like that, with the daisies there. Let's build up. Go one more. And place stone up here. Now this is not in range of the daisy. And place some logs over here. Oops. Alright, so now I can have my crate down here, put all this stuff in there. Put that away. So I'll get out 1 stack of each. Put this stuff away. Get out my wand. And go whack, whack. Oh, they got to all be facing the same way. Alright. So now that there's a lower level, I'll place them all straight down. That way the wand will work on all of them next time. So I can walk up and get the 2 mushrooms. Botania mushrooms. So I'll just pick up some stuff and I guess I'll leave this wand in here. If I need another one, I can make it. Alright, so I've got that going, and I'll come back in a little bit when these have converted. And I guess what do I need to do next? I need to make some sort of mana generating, and I guess we'll go with the usual start. The Endoflame. Where's the Endoflame? There it is. Endoflame. Brown, light gray, and red. So do I have brown? No. So I guess I'm going to have to go out and get some stuff. Alright, so there. I got material. Grab these, grab this, and go whack, whack. Yeah, that works. Alright, well, I'll have to get some more flowers. I thought I had them all by now, but I don't. Let's move on to another thing. This one is not necessarily necessary for what we're doing, but it's a really cool thing to set up. I don't see people use it very often. What we're going to do here is a typesetting table and a printing press. Typesetting table and printing press. These come from Bibliocraft, and they're fairly cheap to make. What you then do is make some print press chases, get some ink sacks, some books, and you'll probably want an anvil. These blocks are a little weird in that where you click on them makes a difference. That's not true for most blocks in this game, so it may confuse people. That back center section is where you click with the chases. They're in place. Over here, with the ink, you see this flat piece with the black dyed rollers above it? That's where the ink goes. We'll go click right there with the ink. Now you can right click and take it off again, but you want to put the ink there. Now let's get a magical book that we want to copy. So that's what this is going to let us do. Soul Stealer, Soulbound, Sharpness, Protection, Holding, Multi-Shot. Well, we can combine protections upwards. So let's start copying those. I'm going to right-click it. Was it crouch, right-click? No. Right-click. See, now I've forgotten. Oh, there you go. You right-click the book in this slot, and then right-click it again to make one of these chases. And this one says Protection 1. It used up the magical book, but now we can right-click this center section here, pop, place some books on it, and it'll start running. And from that one that we used up, we can make 3. So you're going up by 2 every time you do this cycle. There's 1. And we can put down an anvil. And when we get a second one, we can combine them. 1, 2. Now we have Protection 2. Place Protection 2 down here. I do not have enough experience. I know this, but there's a way to find out, and that is to take the monocle and wear it as a helmet. And now when I look at everything, it says selected book requires 24 levels. And I only have 4. But I brought this along. We'll put it over here. This is the experience pylon for the mob farm downstairs. It doesn't look like it has negative experience in it. That's not the case. But we can pull out some levels. Now you can see it's got a whole lot in it. So we come over here and we crouch, right-click the book. There we go. We got the 3rd there. Put this one in. It'll start running. I only have 1 Protection 1, so I'm going to just put that away. And I'll put away this bag of holding. And I guess I'll keep the monocle on for the moment. Oops. Remember, it matters where you click these blocks. That is now empty. Put that away. Get the second one of these. I can combine them. Protection 3. Put protection of 3 over here. The monocle says I need 31 levels. Come over and grab 31. Crouch, right-click the book. Pop that in there. And you see we're just moving our way up the protection racket. As long as you've got a source of the experience, this is a great way to duplicate books. And for the enchantments that you can level up, it's great for that too. Get me one more. There we go. Combine them in the anvil. Oh, I need a few more levels. Protection 4. And we'll probably want to make a couple protection 4s so we can... oh, I need more levels. There we go. Crouch right-click that. Started printing. As you can see on my armor, I've put Soulbound on all of them. But now I can put Protection 4 on all of them. Oh, we're out of regular books. I got one more in here. So if I toss my helmet in with that, needs more levels. Protection 4 on my helmet. And I can do that to all my armor, which I will do off camera, now that you've seen how to go about doing it. I always love this. It's one of my favorite features of Botania, of Bibliocraft. This thing has been running. We've got 14,000 of this dry rubber. I'm going to move it over here to this stack. No. There we go. And I'm going to tear all this down because 14,000 is probably enough. It used up all the wood I gave it. If I need more plastic than that, oops, I can probably set it up again, but I shouldn't. I want to move this here. Yeah. So I'll put all these things away. I'll keep these in my bag. Next project chest. Bees. The dreaded bees. I've gone around, I've broken a lot of hives. So I've got a lot of different bees here to start with. And I made a bunch of stuff. We're going to use gendistry to do our bee breeding. So I'm going to need a flower. And I'm going to need a centrifuge to start with. I don't need all this stuff. That's good for now. So how do I want to set this up? Let's put the grass and the flower right here. And let's get out some power conduits. It's these. Go. First thing is the centrifuge, and we will put this right here. Can't work. Oh, because it doesn't have anything in it to work with. All it needs is power. With that, we can take combs, toss them in there, and then it'll start processing them for wax and honey. Drops of honey. I think that's what we're going to get. And honeydew. I think this comb, yeah, there's honey drops and honeydew. There'll be more honey drops than honeydew. We're going to need an industrial apiary. I'll place that there. We're going to need an advanced mutatron, and a mutagen producer. Mutagen producer I'm going to put there, and I'll put some yellorium in there. And that is going to produce mutagen. The advanced mutatron is going to use the mutagen. You can see I was already experimenting. It's got some mutagen in it already. But this is going to quickly have some of its own. Yep. And we will pipe from one to the other around the back here. Extract and insert. And we've got the genetic imprinter and the genetic sampler. You know, I'm going to move this over here. Now we've got a few honey drops, which is nice. Over here, I'm going to put the genetic sampler and the genetic imprinter. All right, that'll work. So, I already have that. I was wondering where all my upgrades were. This guy needs some labware. This guy needs some labware. And I think this guy does too. Yeah. When breaking hives, if you get the bee smoker and you use this before you break the hive, they won't sting you. But really, with this, the shield I've got, I can just come up and whack them with the atomic disassembler. Are there any more around here? Here's one. And it knocks me down a few of the shield points, but doesn't actually hurt me. So I just ran around and got bees that way. Alright, everything is set up. So what we're going to do, we're going to make 4 lifespan upgrades, an open sky upgrade so you don't have to poke a hole in the ceiling, and the light upgrade so they'll run at night. And we'll make the automation upgrade, but we're not going to put that in there just yet. Actually, go ahead. We'll go ahead and toss that in. Alright, so we've got the mutagen. Making the mutagen, all right. We've got the labware in there. That's important. So we're going to start with our first 2 bees. I'm going to take a meadows and a forest drone. Got some that seem to already not be stacking. So you toss in the meadows princess and the forest drone, and down here, and make the advanced mutatron. You have to make the regular mutatron and then use that to make the advanced. The advanced lets you pick what you want to breed these into. This is the best machine for bees, hands down, because you don't have to wait for chance. You can just say, here's a meadows princess, here's a forest drone, make me a common queen. And poof, we have a common queen. Now we do now have to put her in here and let her live out her lifespan to get back into a princess and a drone. That's where this 4 lifespan upgrades are very important. Now, they haven't found the flowers yet that are behind. They've been very slow about finding them lately. I'm curious if it means it's because they want a different flower. What's the white one called? If I can find it. So it seems like whenever I put down the... oh, it's way too high. I don't remember what it's called. I know I have some. Here we go. Azure Bluet. So, oh, no, it can see the flower now. It just takes it a while. All right. I was going to see if this one did any better, but I knew it could handle these. And now you can see the bee particles going over to the flower now that they found it. And with the 4 lifespan upgrades, this thing is going to die off very quickly. Lifespan upgrades shorten the lifespan. That way it breeds out much faster. You're not going to get as much product, honeycombs and the like, but you'll breed quicker. You'll get the offspring faster. And if you were just manually breeding up, then this would be useful for that, shortening the time. But even using the mutagen and the advanced mutatron or advanced mutatron, you want to have these upgrades. You notice it's nighttime now, but they're still going. And that's because I have the light upgrade. If it started to rain, I don't have the rain upgrade, so they would stop. There's only 4 slots. But we'll be able to modify our bees very quickly. We'll just need to breed up a bunch of drones. Okay, no, I didn't actually want the automation. I forgot. No automation. I grabbed them before they combined, thankfully. Alright, so now we can take common and a forest. So we'll come up here and we'll grab a forest and our common queen. We'll put them together and look, cultivated. That's the next step. What we're going for, since we've set our destination on the growth essence, and we need royal jelly, the imperial bee makes royal jelly, which comes from majestic and noble. Majestic is noble and cultivated. Noble is common and cultivated. So we just created cultivated. So just in a few more steps, we will be able to get to the queen that we want. So let me jump forward when these are done. Okay, this bee has done its thing. We can toss the hive in there, or the comb in there. Alright, now we want, as we saw, we want to get to noble, so we want to common and cultivated. It goes either direction. So do I have the common? Didn't I have an extra common? Maybe I didn't. Not every bee will create... Oh, there we go. So we can put these away. And put the cultivated and the common that we had. Now we get some choices. And we want noble. If you were just breeding these, combining them together in here, then this combination could give us any one of these, or some mixture of the two of them. It's genetics. It's very random, especially in this breeding when you have so many different possibilities. Mutatron is so good here because we can say noble exactly, and we get noble exactly. Very, very good. And once we have the noble, we're going to have to start over again. Because to make the imperial, we need a majestic. Well, let's see. As long as we get a noble drone, we can take our noble princess and breed it with a cultivated to get a majestic queen, and then use the majestic queen and a noble drone. Yes. Maybe that won't work. I don't see it here. Looks like it has to be a noble princess and a majestic... Okay, I thought so. I seem to recall that that was the case. Unless they can go both ways, but it doesn't look like it. It's not listing it. But noble... No? Okay. This one, I guess they're only showing one of the two possibilities, because we just did a cultivated princess and a common drone, and it worked. Alright, good. So we can have a majestic princess and a noble drone and still get the imperial. Alright, so we'll do that next step when this is done breeding up. Alright, there we go. Noble princess. So now we want to get the majestic, which we need a cultivated. I forget, did I still have... I got the cultivated here. I'm going to save one of these nobles. So noble and cultivated gets us majestic. You know, we're just 2 steps away from having this bee. Gendistry makes this so much faster and less frustrating. Toss the comb in here. Wow, we've gotten a lot of honeydew. Alright, one more wait. And there we go. Got the majestic. Now the majestic and the noble, and we get imperial. Excellent. Just that fast. Now we can toss the imperial in here with the automation upgrade and take out the lifespan so that it continues to run at a slow pace so it doesn't breed and die quickly. Because this one is ignoble. I wasn't paying attention. I must have started with something ignoble. Yeah. That means, ignoble means it's only going to be able to breed for a short while. I should have checked that and I forgot. Always check your starter bees to see if they are ignoble or not. There's one other machine that we're going to need. I think I put it over here. This is the carpenter. Because there is this thing, the portable analyzer. The carpenter needs water. You put some tin, redstone, diamond, and glass pane. It doesn't matter what color. And you get a portable analyzer. I have already done this. Here it is. And with this, we can take, say, there's 4 drones they stack. Pop them in here, and it takes honey drops to power it. So each one of these operations takes a honey drop, but a whole stack uses only 1 honey. So if you can put a stack in there, that's a good idea to save some juice. It is the princesses that are ignoble or pristine. And yeah, I should have taken a forest princess that was pristine. So I'm probably going to do this over again. Off camera, of course. And make a proper... oh, look, royal jelly. Have the next ingredient done. Put this away here. Put away some of these other things. And I'm just going to stick these right there on the side so they're handy next time I need them. Alright, so we've got royal jelly. We've got the poop, the fertilizer. What are the other things we need for the growth essence? Oh, it looks like bone meal could have worked there. Well, using the empowerer? No, it has to be the fertilizer. If we made the fusion crafter, draconic level, we could have used bone meal, but I already have this, and fertilizer is easy to make. So we've got that, we've got that. This fertilizer uses a composter with some biomash. Biomash, a knife with just about any... Let's see, we'll make a knife. You have to make a knife blade. Knife handle. Combine them to make a knife. And we'll use some melons. Make a stack of biomash. And I made a composter. Made 4 of them. So let's get... being close to the imperial queens, you get regeneration. Just sort of nice. Yes, we'll get 3 more stacks of apples. And then recipe for this. Oh, it's not going to show it. Where's my knife? I've got 2 of them. Make another stack. Biomash. Another stack. Another stack. There we go. And we'll just plop these down out here for the moment. And each one put a stack of biomash. When we come back, we'll have that fertilizer. So that's pretty easy. Now we just need the mana powder. We got the flux phyto grow. So how are we doing up here? Oh yes, I need to go and get some more flowers. So let me do that, and I will be right back. I just realized that I do not need to fly around looking for the plants. Oh, look, our fertilizer is ready. You need to use an empty hand. It just fills your hand. All right, we got plenty of this. I'm not even going to leave those things up. I'm going to put them away too. I know, I just realized, no sense flying around because we are making this stuff. Which means I've got unlimited dyes. Let's see, so because Botania has its own bone meal, which, let's see if it is restricted in what colors of dye it uses. Where is it? A lot of the objects in Botania have a very similar appearance. This is like a yeah, there we go. Floral fertilizer. So it's yellow and red. So we'll make some yellow, like so. Make a whole stack of it. And we'll make some red, like so. And again, a whole stack of it. Combine that and that with bone meal, which I may have to actually make. Oh, I got enough. There we go. Whole half stack. So now we can go out down here and go whack and start picking up. I didn't get any of that one. Okay, what did I get? I got all the colors. There we go. If it fills in 2 rows -1, then you've got all the colors. Very good. Now, one of the things we can do is make mystical flower clusters, which can be used with a tier 4 crafting seed to make mystical flower seeds, and those can be used to make mystical flower essence, and that can be used to make all the various colors of, well, let's say 6, yeah, that's right. All the flowers that way. But we can do that later. Right now we just want to get our Botania running. So, refreshing the thermal lily. Not thermal lily. We want Endoflame. Endoflame. 2 brown, light gray, and red. Let's say we'll make 4 of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the 4 brown. That's the red and light gray. There we go. The rest of these I'm going to just put in this crate. Need a few seeds. Alright, so the first one we're going to do one at a time. Bump, 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 and seeds. And now, it's, as it says there, right-click with an empty hand to redo the recipe, and then toss in the seeds. Right-click with empty hand, toss in the seeds. Right click with empty hand, toss in the seeds. I love how fast that refills. Alright, 4 endo flames. Now we're going to take some of our living wood and living stone. We're going to make a mana pool. Good, that hasn't changed. And we're going to take... which flower I've got the most of. Got a bunch of these. Let's break 2 of them down into petals. And if I remember, take some gold. Petal. Where's my gold? Like that? Yeah. Mana spreader. And just 1 for now. And we're going to need a little bit of dirt. Or actually, let's use grass. It's just a little prettier. Some 4 grass. And we'll just do it right here in the middle. Plant our 4 of those. Let's put this here. Facing down. And actually I'm going to break these, place them again now that the spreader is there, so they link to it. They should now be linked to it. I haven't made the wand yet, but I don't really need it at the very moment. So let's get some coal, and we'll turn it into blocks. Just 4 blocks for the moment. Toss that out there. They should all eat it up. There we go. And we're making mana. And I'm just going to take 2 redstone here. Got enough? Got enough. We've got 2 mana powder. Alright, we're done with Botania for now. We're just doing the briefest little dive into it to get what we want. And now I think I've got everything I need. So we've got 2 types of fertilizer. We've got the PhytoGrow, which is over here. Oh, well, I'm going to have some in my storage system. And run back over to our bees. We've got 2 of the royal jelly. Let's go do this. Royal jelly in the middle. You, and you. And it's running. I haven't even put hoppers on these things. I wonder how long this is going to take. It probably takes a lot of power. I've got the power, but it may just take a while to pipe it all in there. It takes 5 million RF. Yeah, that's probably going to take it a little while. How about we come back when it completes? Actually, I'm going to do the second batch as well. So let me come back when both batches are complete. And number 2 is done. That actually didn't take too long. I thought it might, but it didn't. And now immediately I'm going to use them with a tier 4 crafting seed and some supremium to make tier 5 crafting seed. And with that, I am going to, you can do star metal, a lot of stuff you can do with this one. Signalium. Wither skeleton chunks. I made those. The recipe is just 2 wither skeleton skulls with a tier 5 mob chunk. And now, wither skeleton seeds. That's what I was going for. Very nice. Let's find over here one that's just inferium and replace it. I changed the way this was set up. These guys just... I really should set up storage drawers for the dye essence, the fertilized essence, and the glowstone. Oh, I ran around in the nether quite a bit. And where is he? Over? I think it's over here. Yep, I have a ghast seed. The ghast seed was much easier than what we just did. It's a tier 4 seed with ghast chunks, and the ghast chunks just require 2 ghast tears each, so you need 8 ghast tears. So I flew around the nether killing ghasts, but I also took, I think like 6 of the tears came from catalyzing glands that I'd gotten and were in my system. But now I have an unlimited supply of ghast tears, and we're still making the Enderman essence. So these 2 provide me with ghast tears and ender pearls. That's the only thing those essences can be used for. Well, that went a lot faster than I expected. So, I guess we'll touch a little bit more on these 2 blocks, which I haven't yet used. Let's come in here and get... Oh, look, my imperial drone. I only have 1 of them. And that's probably because... Let me get out my analyzer and get some honey for it. Actually, there's plenty in here. You can use the honeydew as well. Alright, let's put our imperial drone in here. And you see it, fertility is 2. That's good. I thought the fertility on these was just 1. This one's still running, but let's take it out and scan it. Fertility 2. That's good. That means it'll make 2 drones. Usually, always, not sure. One of which can then be recycled back in with the automation upgrade to do the next generation. The other is extra. And in fact, I'm going to go ahead and put these back in so we get a whole bunch of these drones. We're going to need a bunch. All right, we come over here to the genetic sampler, and we give it the labware. We also need to give it, and I'm going to go ahead and... Do I have them in here? I think I have them in here. You're about to see the crate I had doing this, because I need the blank genes here. I'm going to put the blank gene samples in, and we're going to put this 1 imperial drone in. And it destroys the drone. Never put your princesses in here, because there's only a limited number. You only have as many of those as you've broken hives. What do we get? Flowering slowness. That is pretty useless. Every bee has a list of traits. Let's grab a bee from over here. We'll grab an unusual princess. Why not? Toss you in. Species. That's one of their traits. And you see they've got a dominant and recessive column. Lifespan, how long they live. Production, how fast they produce honeycombs and such like. Pollinization is how much they do pollinization and cause flowers to grow in grass nearby. But I bet you if we go downstairs, there's now going to be a few flowers. No, not yet. There will be, though. Flower type, this is what they need to have nearby to grow. Notice I put this 1 flower out here, and now that they're flying out to it, certain breeds, certain species of bees have different things like cactus or stone. Lots of different things. Some of them get a little bit complicated. Fertility, which is how many drones they have. If it's only 1, then you're not going to get an extra pile of drones. So when you're first getting a large number of bees, you probably want this to be 2 or higher. But maybe when you get to production, you might want to set it down back to 1. I'll show you how to set it, because then you wouldn't get extra bees you have to destroy. Territory is how large an area they look for flowers and how large an area they pollinate. I don't really use the pollinate, but if you have crops nearby, it should act as like a bone meal effect, and it's necessary for doing tree breeding, I believe, which I never do, so. Effect none. This guy in here has the effect of beatific, which is what's giving me the regeneration, but this unusual princess has no effect. If you want to see the rest of the traits, that's with these other slots here. You have to move it down. Here we go. We got climate normal. Means it uses regular climate. It has climate tolerance of 2 up, 2 down. That's good. That means is that temperature? I guess that's temperature is what the actual trait is called. So the temperature can be higher or lower than normal, and it'll still work. Actually, it'll go up 2 or down 2. So this is like the best trait for climate, I think. So temperature up 2 and down 2 from what it currently is. Normal, hot, hottest, and cold, coldest, I think. I don't remember what the names are. But that's like 5 different types of temperature that can handle. Humidity here, it's at 0, normal humidity with 0 tolerance. So it's just normal. If it was too humid or not humid enough, these bees would not breed. Diurnal means they can breed during the day. Most bees have this, but a few special bees don't. They can only breed at night. Nocturnal means can it breed at night? You can be yes in both of these. Tolerant flyer means if it's raining, will it still breed and create products? This one, no. If it starts raining, it won't be able to do anything. And cave dwelling is can it have sky access? Some of these things, like sky access and whether it's night or day, can be overridden in the apiary. Let's grab another one of these and chuck it in here. See what we get. And we get cave dwelling false. That's also not too useful. Cave dwelling true is less common. Now, once you have these that you don't want, you need to cook them, but you can't do them in a smelting factory. Compactor, I thought I had. Oh, here we go. Redstone furnace, they work in there. Nope, they don't. How about the manufactory? Nope. In here? Nope. I'll keep that. Put you away. For some reason, even though when you look at the uses of these things, they say smelting, and they show all these different machines. Elite smelting factory. The let's see. Don't see. Oh yeah, over here, alloy smelter. It lists all these, but it doesn't work in them. The only thing I've found it to actually work in is a regular furnace. So I've got a regular furnace here. And yeah, I don't know why it's like that. What I'm going to do is put this here. Get another crate. Put that on top. We're going to extract. Get out my wrench so I can get at the part going up by crouch left clicking up. I'm going to insert. That will pull them out of there. Now I'll put the furnace here. Actually, I don't want to insert straight from this because I want to be able to see it. Yeah, we'll do this. We'll do it this way. This will be insert, and this will be extract, but only on redstone. I'm curious if I can put a lever on the side of one of these crates. I don't think this is redstone affected. So So now when there's stuff in here, I put some bees in here, they get chewed down, turn into these, come in here, look through them all, find the ones I want to keep. Once I've got them out, flip this lever. I guess the crate doesn't pass a redstone signal. Whoops. I must have my atomic disassembler set fast. No? It was set normal. That was weird. Put these back in. And I can't put this right on there now. Well, just for the moment, it's ugly, but I'll put this here with the lever there. That should get them to come over. Yep. Put some that in there. Put another conduit down here. Turn that one off. And make this extract. And then I'll put the blanks back into the crate. And actually, we can even do that insert red. And you extract red. That should only be able to put the blank ones back in here. Oh. I put the blank so I can do the blanks. I guess I need a filter. Filter, nope, I don't have any more. Filter. One of you. Toss the, not there, over here, and we will blacklist the empty ones. So they should now just go down. Did I forget to set the color? Oh, I forgot to set it to extract. Alright, so now it's down here. 41. Yep, okay, good. So now they will recycle, but always turn that back off. So that when I do put some more bees in, like so. So we'll test this all the way through to make sure it's working. Alright, I made tolerates rain false. Good, it got pulled out. It now sits in here. I look at it. No, I don't want tolerates rain false. That gets sent to the furnace. I wouldn't flip that lever as long as there's bees in here. Otherwise, you're just going to melt whatever it is you just created. And that's back to 41. All right, good. That works. I'll go ahead and toss another one in. One of the traits you definitely want to get is species. That's very important because then you can recreate that bee again. Nope, humidity tolerance. No humidity tolerance. So I'll keep doing that till I get the imperial species. Alright. Put these in here. That to empty back my inventory. And I'm not going to carry this around. I'll toss it in there. But as I said, I've done a bunch. I've got... I keep the best of each effect. And here's the beatific effect from the imperial bees. I also want to keep effect none. That's useful for taking the sting out of bees that do bad things to you. And I tend to keep 2 of each species that I scan. So I've got meadows, imperial, common, and rocky so far. Rocky's a good one. We're going to want to get a lot of the rocky princesses. They have some good traits on them, and they're a good starting point for doing any other bee. And actually, because it's raining... No, it's working. That's strange. I didn't think... Unless the Imperial Queen has got... Let's see. Does she tolerate rain? I didn't think she did. Take him out. Tolerant flyer, no. So I don't know why she's running in the rain. Maybe it's because she's covered up. Now that it's raining on the hive, will she stop? Yeah, okay. Well, that's interesting. So you don't need the tolerant flyer modifier. As long as you've got the open sky upgrade in here and cover it up, rain doesn't bother it. It's a twofer. Alright, well anyway, now we talked about this machine and how to get the traits. Next we want to use the traits. So let's go into Gendistry. You see that we have all of the species here and all of the traits. But down at the end we also have these things, genetic templates. They take a diamond, but we got plenty of those. I'm just going to make one for the moment. What you do is you take, let's see, never sleeps true. That's a good one. Tolerates rain, true. Cave dwelling, true. Anything else we want to put on here? Tolerates rain, don't I already have that one? Yeah, so that's an extra. We'll melt that down a bit. Let's see, beatific. Flowers, rocks. I like that one because there's always some stone. It's sometimes nicer to have stone than having flowers. Yeah, I won't put that one on there. We'll do flowers. Alright, so we've got a bunch of traits. What I'm going to do is, let's do it in a larger crafting table so we can get all these in here. Combine all of these with the template. Oop. And you can see it's got 4 of 13 chromosomes. You can have up to 13 in there. These just have 4. So I'm going to turn off the automation. And we're going to take this imperial drone. And once this finishes going round, we'll have the princess. We can do it to the princess too. All right, we come over here. We take the genetic template and pop it in the top. We take our drone and pop it over here. This will not use up the genetic template, though as you saw it did use up the traits, but that's okay. We can use this template as often as we like, and we can copy it and do other things with it as well. But that's why I just put a few on there, because you can always do this multiple times. There's a chance of losing your bee when doing this, I think, but it almost always works. So now we can look at this bee, especially in category 2 here. We can see diurnal, yes. Nocturnal, yes. Tolerant flyer, yes. Cave dwelling, yes. We've changed these traits. We've done some genetic engineering on our bee. Lifespan normal. We didn't really change anything here. I could take this beatific off, but it's sort of nice to have regeneration. And now we can put any bee in there and give it these traits. So now we just got to wait for this imperial queen to die. Queen is dead. Long live the princess. Alright, so let's keep these separate, because this is the one I've edited. Now we're going to edit the princess the same way. And these always seem to, as long as you get something out the end, it's going to have these traits. So you're not like you're sometimes going to get some. It's not like it's not a random thing. It's a surefire thing. Though, like I said, sometimes you will lose the bees, though that may be configurable. Alright, so now we've got a princess and a drone, and they should now... Let's take a look at the queen. Drop her to slot 2 here. Yep, she is all these settings. Slot 3 just tells you what stuff they produce. Slot 4 gives you what mutations. You have to actually do them before they show up here. That's fine. We got JEI to tell us all of those. And this just gives you some more flavor text here of what their classification is, and some, general text on them. It's not a useful tab in any way. All right. I'll put back the automation. And I don't really need them to keep dying. So let them live out their whole lives now, because I do have the imperial species trait. Toss these in here. Toss you in there. And toss you in there. So that is agendastry. I'm going to now see how long it's been for this episode and see what's going to happen next. Oh, we've got a... Oop. Gotcha. I did make this crate over here because I wanted somewhere to keep these books that wasn't in my system. I was getting a lot of these spell books. Oh, yes, before we go, well, I go for a break. We've got another chest here. Forgot about that. And you've seen the mob farm I made for the wither skeletons. They're doing pretty good. Give me drops of evil grave dust. I didn't know I was keeping the withered limb. I put a filter on the item conduit and have a trash chest here. Everything that's not caught by the filter goes to this chest. And using a trash chest instead of a trash can is nice because you can come in here and pull some things out. But once it gets full, it'll start trashing the older stuff as newer stuff comes in. So I'll keep these things. I don't want to keep those necessarily, but my magnet picked it up. I did make a magnet, fluxo magnet, for thermal innovation. And I made another one of these experience pylons, and it too is not... Oh, it doesn't have much in it, because it hasn't had a chance to restock. But I made another mob farm down here. Now this one's got cursed earth under it. But I also have the zombie spawner stuck in there. And I put the mob slaughter factory down here, and it's got 1,000 buckets of pink slime and 5,000 buckets of liquid meat. I'm using the black hole tanks, so they'll never be full. They hold a vast quantity. It's got its own experience pylon, and since this thing doesn't make drops, I haven't really needed the drop chest, but for some reason the hearts still drop. I see a few back there in the back beyond the range of this thing. I don't know. There's nothing to do with these hearts. There's just way too many of them. Probably going to trash them. Well, time seemed to just fly by. We are at the end of the episode, but we got a lot done, and one of the main things... Oop, wrong. There we go. Wither skeleton essence. You take a bone block surrounded by soul dust to get these blank skulls. Blank skulls with the wither skeleton essence. Is it 4 or 8? It's 8. Gets you wither skeleton souls. So now I can grow these guys. Pretty nice. Don't need a dedicated mob farm to make them. Alright. Well, that will be it for this episode. More to come. Tune in next time. This is Nonsanity signing out. Take care, be good, and see you next time.